Hi friends, I'd like to take you through the November newsletter of St. Mary's Software Hub. I'm very happy to take you through this newsletter. I think it has been almost 10 months of hard work, a lot of figuring out of how to work within the context of an engineering college and produce results. So yeah, without any further delay, I am sharing my screen and taking you through this newsletter. This newsletter is available on Deep Thought website. So let's go over to slide number 1. It starts here, Telangana's most happening hostel. So students attend their college classes from 9 o'clock till 4 o'clock or 9:30 to 4. And after that, they're getting to do full stack development with us because we are a 60-member team on the campus. We have 60 young industrial professionals on the campus, and we've been guiding them. And recently, they've done a project showcase. As you can see here, 139 students have learned how to build their own projects. So, and they also had a very good session with Mr. Hariharan Anand on how to start your career as an intern. Most interns have this self-doubt, right? Will I finally be able to make it? Will I be able to make it into the software industry or not, is a doubt which most youngsters have. So how do you actually become an intern? So that emotional support as well as the technical guidance was given to them in this session on November 25th. And there were about 40 BTech first year students who learned Node.js and another 25 diploma students learned Node.js. So this is the first page. And the second page, the Deshmukhi developers community. We're now 139, as you can see, a lot of fantastic projects that the students have built. And this is Mr. Hariharan Anand right here in the center. And these are all of us, the 60 mentors and the students who are, interacting there. So now moving to the next slide. First to clear my screen. Yeah, next slide. Deshmukhi on the world map. Well, most people with 21, 22 years of experience take more than 2 months to learn Node.js. How is it that diploma second year students, they'll be probably 16 or 17 years old. This diploma second year students, how were they actually able to learn Node.js in just 2 days? They were able to learn Node.js. And I think we watch this kind of faculty in movies only. These kind of faculty, we see them in movies only, that there's a lot of practical problems. The faculty refuses to give up, right? You can imagine your, say Vijay Deverakonda or a Mammootty or a Chiranjeevi or a Shah Rukh Khan in Chak De India. There's an obstacle, and the students themselves sometimes are low on confidence. The faculty takes it upon himself or herself to do it. Well, forget the movies, for real, it happened in Deshmukhi. This is the young team which managed to do it. What are the obstacles? Students had very basic programming language because they were in diploma second year. They did not have many programming courses already. And they didn't have their own laptops because many of the students come from rural backgrounds where they couldn't afford a laptop. The semester was coming to an end. The exams were coming in. Students were also worried about their exams. And they were getting scared of the technical terms in Node.js. And the students had only 2 days to complete their Node.js project because they spent a lot of time on their initial Figma project. So the faculty found solutions to each of these. They taught the necessary programming basics again. They gave their personal laptop. So the faculty who were doing projects in Deep Thought, just for that 2 days, they gave their personal laptops to the students so the students can complete their project, and they worked late night to complete their personal projects in the company. So they wanted to see their students successful. And can this beat any inspiration that we've seen, right? That they worked overtime late in the night to do their projects, but in the morning they made sure students got their laptops and students were able to complete their projects. And because there were lack of periods, they had project periods and lab periods. They used those to actually work with the students in the projects. They use Feynman technique to make all the complicated words simple. And they gave a very good code base, right, with a neat architecture, so students could understand that architecture and read the comments and then contribute to the code because the architecture is already laid out well. They found it easy to read it, understand, modify it, and then build it. And now they can explain the entire architecture as well. Now, coming to the next slide. This is the Deshmukhi how did this actually happen? They took about 3 hours to make students understand the basics of Node.js, the folder structure, what's a middleware, what's a controller, what are the routes, and so on. And about 2 hours was spent by the students to explore, right? It's not just like theory. After that, we let students make some modifications, go to that CSS, change the feather radius, change the color, see what is happening, change the, controllers, change the EJS files, which render the HTML dynamically. So make those modifications and get a sense of what's going on. And 3 hours went into making the necessary front-end modifications into the architecture so that they can realize their project, about 3 hours into backend, and they spent about 2 hours in solving all the bugs for this application. And finally, when the project showcase happened, the diploma second year students beat the BTech first year students, BTech second year students, all the top 7 projects in the live dashboard. There was a Power BI live dashboard about the top projects. As you can see here, Waveline, goodness of Morph Shield, traffic controller, multilingual meeting, and sign project. All the 7 were diploma projects. So that's the impact of this inspirational faculty out there. And when it comes to the learnings, of course, we as an organization had a lot of learning of how to mentor students, how to help. If we have to get more students to learn faster, what do we do? First is I personally gave a 3-point hygiene checklist, 2 console logs, and 1 to inspect the payload on the browser. So if that payload fails or if that console log fails, what files to check as a checklist we sort of discussed. And we also discussed the data flows, how the data flows all the way from front end till database and then database to front end, and how you can, instead of trying to read all the code at once, how you can read the code from the point of view of a data flow. So that's a very important thing, because most freshers have difficulties in understanding folder structure. Most freshers get scared of code, and if that fear of code has to go away, I think it is important that freshers look at the data flows carefully, and we were able to do this right from diploma second year. So when these people finish their BTech, they will not have a fear of the folder structure. They will not have a fear of, doing real-time projects. So this was, I think, amazing learning. And these are some of the common errors we saw that people were making, that the variables were not consistent. So from one place to the other place, the names of the variables were changing. So there were errors in the final application. So because there was a list, the students were, trying to go over the same list again and again and fix their bugs faster. And listening to all of these, our super CTO, Mr. Hariharan Anand, who is the fractional CTO of 5 different companies, who has 33 years experience in the tech space, starting his career with Ashok Leyland, now the CTO of Pet Central, Doxiva, Vishkarma, Kringle.ai, and Deep Thought. He was like, wow. Because he was like, even people with 2 years experience sometimes struggle to understand the business context of a project. They may be able to just write some code without understanding what it is, why someone is going to pay for it, what are the main objectives, without the ability to take decisions. For everything, they have to run to the senior and ask the senior, what do I do? What do I do? But here, we're 17-year-olds who are able to get the business context and articulate the business context really well. One of the students made a project to solve the problem of corruption in the Grihalakshmi scheme of the Telangana government, and the CTO was super impressed with the students' understanding of the scheme and the ability to build a solution as per the ground requirements. And for a 17-year-old to do that is phenomenal, because most fresh 3 to 5 years experience people in corporates also would struggle to go from idea to execution. And that's what he said, right? That these projects have enormous commercial value. They were not just some textbook projects which were made just to prove technical skills. They were, complete solutions to a problem with real commercial value. And he was advising the Software Hub team that this is the process we want to continue, that we give a code which is like a toy to the students. The students play with the toy. The students understand the toy. And after understanding the toy, they can move to a larger code base, and that's when they'll be able to learn. So, and he gave a powerful advice to the first year students. There are many BTech first year students who are doing internship with Software Hub right now. And the advice that Anand sir gave was, you're already one step ahead, keep going, because the others are just choosing to pass exams and keep quiet. But you guys, right in first year, you're going to Software Hub and you're doing internships and you're trying to get that industrial exposure. And that's why you're sitting with a CTO. You're meeting important people because you're a step ahead. So this is the impact we've managed to achieve in the month of November. So what next? Well, we have one more event in December where students will be presenting the projects of React.js. We started with Node.js. We started Ulta. We started with backend. So they have an understanding of how an application works. Now they'll create a beautiful user experience around what they've already built around Node.js. And basically, this event in December will be largely focused on user experience, while the event in November was focused on data intelligence. How do you bring data intelligence into your application? So now the thing is, now that you've got the data intelligence, how do you exploit the data intelligence to bring a better user experience in the front end is what this event is about. And the second thing is peer mentoring. So a lot of students slack off in private engineering colleges across India, not just Telangana, in private engineering colleges across India. Students do not do anything constructive in first year or second year, right? You might say they're busy with academics. We know how much time people spend on studying, right? So people usually don't spend much time studying. So if they can be put onto projects, they'll create seriousness in them. So because if I'm building a good project, I would want to go get some good marks because I know I already have good projects, and with some good marks, I might be able to get a good opportunity in the industry. So you would want to create that career orientation in the students. You would want to create that career orientation in the students by helping the students build really good projects. So I think we have 139 now. So now the question to ask is, how can this 139 motivate many more students and build a large talent pool in Deshmukhi? Some of the students have had very humble marks in 10th and 12th. So students with very basic academic background, if they're able to build Node.js projects, something which freshers will struggle, and today's courses in the industry go on anywhere between 3 months to 6 months. We are able to do it in 2 days, 3 days. So in 1 month, you'll be able to skill people. And that's amazing because the Indian software industry does not have as much talent as it needs right now. And students are also fighting for jobs even after getting BTech. So it's a beautiful solution that's coming out of St. Mary's Software Hub Deshmukhi. So we're quite excited about what we would do in the month of December. As I said, there are 2 goals. One, of course, is to go to the next level. In January, the idea is to bring machine learning. So initially, we brought in business and design through Figma in October. In November, we brought in data intelligence through Node.js, the backend perspective. Now we're bringing React.js and user experience. Next, we're bringing in machine learning. After that, we're bringing in AI and ChatGPT integrations or any OpenAI integrations. After that, we are bringing in software testing to check if their software is of high quality or not. So we have a roadmap over 12 months in terms of how level by level students will be learning new technologies, and all the technologies will be integrated into that one project. So they'll be working on the same project for 12 months, but they'll be adding new technology layers to that project. So this is what we're doing here at Software Hub Deshmukhi, and we are looking forward to more and more students joining us right now, and that will help us build an amazing talent pool for India. So India was the back office of the world. We were doing the donkey work for the world. So what they would not want to do in America, which would be cheaper in India, they would do it here. But I think the idea is to make India the innovation capital of the world. So America has a Silicon Valley. We would like to start a DT Valley in India, a DT Valley, a Deep Thought Valley, which brings this talent pool. And we are very, very thankful to St. Mary's group of institutions for giving us this opportunity to set up the DT Valley. So if you're looking forward to becoming a world-class engineer, the right place to be in today in India is Deshmukhi, a village just 25 kilometers away from Telangana. So we are putting this village on the world map. So if you want to grow as a world-class engineer, come right here and be a part of this journey to put this village on the world map and to grow a lot of world-class engineers. Thank you for listening to me and hoping to see most of you in Deshmukhi very soon.